In today's video, we are going to write 2048 together. To make the code of this game easier to understand, we separate the programs into two parts. The first part will be controlling, and the second part will be the graphic user interface, which is GUI. In this video, we will focus on controlling. Since we will need to call the functions that control the board while doing GUI, defining a class name board is the easiest way. "2048 is a typical board game, so it is a good idea to initialize the board as a 2D list. Board size is the size of the 2D list, which is the number of blocks on each side of the board. When you start a game, the board is empty with zeros all on the blocks, so we need to define a function called empty, a 4x4 2D list of zeros. Now, here comes the most difficult part. We need to write functions to move and merge the blocks. We start with move left. As I mentioned, we first move and then merge. Note that it is done row by row. To move all the number blocks to the left, we iterate through each block. For each row, we record the number of empty blocks with 0 and also append the number that is not 0 into the current row. After that, we need to merge adjacent block with the same number, which means the previous block has the same number with the current block and it was merged before. If the blocks merge, we need to add another 0. Else we preserve the current numbers. And here we add all the zeros recorded before. Once we got a move left, we can approach other directions in an easy way. Moving up is simply transposing the matrix and then moving left. Of course, we need to transpose it back after. Moving right is even simpler. We reverse each row, move left, and then reverse it back. Moving down is similar to moving up, except we use move right. Besides these four functions, we also need a new one to generate new blocks. We randomly generate a number in one of the empty blocks. To do so, we first record all the position of empty blocks and use random to choose a position to fill. Oops, we need to import random first. By the way, we need a helper function to determine whether to generate number 2 or 4. After all the board controlling functions, another important part is winning and losing. For its win, if there's a block with number 2048, then we win. For its game over, it is a little more complicated. If there are still empty blocks on the board, we won't lose. If all the blocks are filled but there are some that can be merged, we still won't lose. Otherwise, the game is over. That concludes the board class, and for the next video, we will go over the GUI part.